Imagine yourself sitting there learning in your classroom, and loud noises started echoing throughout the hallways, and you realize it's gunshots. What do you do? In most scenarios, they would lock the door, turn off the light, and you would try to hide, whether underneath a desk or table. Why not just arm the teachers? In 2013, there were 28 school shootings. And in 2014, the number grew to 36. And in 2015, there were 20 school shootings. And although the number did decrease, that is still way too many that's happening within our nation. A little about myself. I was in the United States Air Force for 5 years as a security forces member. I was trained in law enforcement and in personal security. And there was a motto I took away from the military that I still use to this day, and I think it has a place here. And that is, it is better to portray yourself as a harder target than an easy opportunity. And I feel that our school systems fall underneath this easy opportunity. As you're waiting for the shooter to make its rounds, the police officers or resource officers, campus police, they were notified. But that still takes time for them to be notified. And it takes additional time for them to arrive. And it takes additional time for them to actually pinpoint the location and have a plan to eliminate the threat. If teachers were armed and the shooter came to their classroom, the threat could be eliminated immediately. Some say that we're only adding fuel to the fire by adding more guns into a school system. But what if I told you there was a handgun that was called the Armatrex IP-1? It is a smart gun. It is a semi-automatic 22 caliber with a 10-round magazine. And it comes with what is called an IW-1, which is a wristwatch that the teacher would wear on his shooting hand. And this will allow the gun to operate. The gun has to be within 10 inches of the watch for it to actually fire. So if the shooter does obtain the gun and wants to go on a shooting rampage, they can't because they need the wristwatch. And another safety that this gun has is a stationary hub that can be placed, for example, in a principal's office. And the person that has access to this hub has the means to turn on and off all the handguns or turn on and off certain individual handguns. So if it does fall into the hands of the wrong person, all they have to do is flip a switch and it's off. So let's go back to the scenario with you in a classroom and you start hearing gunshots. Your professor or teacher locks the door, has y'all stand behind, and she takes cover with her weapon drawn to the door. I feel that shows a little bit more security for everyone in the classroom, knowing that they actually have a means of defending themselves. Another huge concern that I have for our school systems and its security is that we advertise that we have no means of protecting ourselves. We have signs that say this is a gun-free zone, but I don't remember the last time a sign actually stopped a criminal. If we decide to arm teachers and faculty members with handguns, I believe that we should have signs that say our teachers, educators, staff members are armed and they do have the means of protecting themselves and their students. This will go back to my quote that I learned from the military, and it will make us not an easy target, but it won't make us an easier opportunity, but a harder target. And one example of an easy target or an easy opportunity and a harder target was in 2014 with the Oregon Mall shooting. A man by the name of Nick Millay was in this Oregon mall and was a concealed carry person. He actually had his concealed carry permit and his handgun when the shooter started to engage people. He went on to CNN and Fox News to state that he had his gun drawn and was perfectly capable of taking a shot, but he decided not to because he did not have a clear shot of the person, showing his restraint and professionalism with his handgun. He said he made eye contact with the shooter, and the shooter saw him, and the shooter immediately retreated once seeing Nick Millay and his handgun. The shooter retreated down a hallway in which he committed suicide, and by not firing a single round, Nick Millay was able to save countless lives. And I believe this could play into the role of schools and the teachers with their concealed weapons. Teachers do not have to fire a gun, they just have to be portrayed as a harder target and not an easy opportunity. One teacher can save countless lives in this scenario. And I do not believe that all professors, teachers, faculty members should be armed. I do not believe that everyone is capable of making these decisions with firearms and are not responsible enough for them. With that being said, I do feel that the ones that feel that they are capable of carrying these firearms go out and at their own expense go to a reputable instructor that is recognized by the school and go and take these classes so they can actually prove that they are capable of making these decisions and go through the safety instructions and prove that they are professional enough to carry these handguns. I feel that if we take all of these into account, all these situations into account, our schools will be a safer place, thus allowing a safer environment for our children to learn. And with safety playing a huge factor, our students will learn and will learn at a better rate because they feel more secure in their classrooms. They do not have to worry about an active shooter coming into their classrooms, and that they do have a means of self-defense. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.